Hello, this is Tricia from Tricia's Cards and Crafts, and welcome to another of my stepped up to simple to stepped up on Sundays. Got it right at the end. These are the cards we're going to make today. It's using, she says, there we go. It's using the Don't Stop Believin stamp set. I've used Don't Get Your Tinsel in a Tangle in this particular little image. I didn't have another one to put inside from this stamp set, so I've used the Happy Christmas from Snowman stamp set, which I've used on a previous video, but that's the sentiment I've used for the inside. I could have used, well, quite a lot of other ones, but where's the one I was looking for? I could have used Christmas Wishes from the Banner Year stamp set as well, but there we go, I've done it now. Okay, so that's the other one I could have used. I've got lots of other ones I could have used as well, but those are the main two. Anyway, this is the card that we're going to make today, and then I'll explain how I made this one later on. Okay, so I'm going to change the colours because I thought this one looked a little bit on the dark side. I don't really like the colours in this one very much, so I've changed the colours up for the one that we're going to make now. Okay, so let's start off with our card. All the stamping I'm going to be doing will be using the Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad. We're going to put him here on the front. There we go. And I'm going to on the inside of this one, I've got the Happy Christmas, but I also did a little, I drew that myself. Well, I don't think it's that good, so I've decided I'm going to just do a little bit of his head, like I've done on the envelope there as well. Okay, but I'm going to do it at an angle for this one, so I'll ink him up again for the inside. There we go. There's a bit there, and I'm going to do the Happy Christmas. Oh, I'll do that. No, I'll do that now. There we go. Do the Happy Christmas there. So we've got our sentiment inside, and I'm going to do the head on here as well. So let's stamp him up. This time I'm going to do it on this corner over here, and there we go. So I've done the envelope. So the only other stamping is the sentiment on the inside. And that's this one here. We just keep on getting a little bit of ink on the sides of this stamp. It's a very narrow stamp, but it's got a few bits. If you're not careful when you're stamping, you can get some on the side. That should be okay. And I'm going to put him in the middle this time. Well, ish. There we go. So that's done. So now we can get on with colouring. When I did this one, I made a bit of a mess with the colours because I wanted his hat to be red, and then I put the red light in the middle. So I've swapped them over this time, and I'm going to colour the things in his clothes in a little bit differently as well. So we'll get on with this. So I'm using this time When I did it before, I used shaded spruce and I used a bit of Pretty Peacock for the jacket or top, and then I used Real Red and Daffodil Delight. Well, my Daffodil Delight is running out. So I've changed to Crushed Curry. I've changed the red to Poppy Parade, and I've got 2 different greens this time because there's a lot of mist colours, and I've got Granny Apple Green and Pear Pizzazz. I don't think I'll be using the grey now. I used the grey to do the wiring, but I think I'll do it in the green as well. And then I've got Soft Suede to do the hair. I used it yellow that time, but I think it looks better with it a bit darker. Okay, so let's get colouring. Do my little bit of hair. So with the lights, I can either use the green or the yellow, and I think I'll use the yellow inside, although it looks a bit dark. That's not good, but there we go. Right, I'll do the others in a minute. Just wanted to do that one first so that I can do the colouring. I'm going to do his hat. And I'm doing this light shown here on his shoes in the red. So I've used the pastel pink or powder pink for the skin tone, but I think that's okay. It could be a bit lighter, but it's fine. And then I'm going to do his shoes. There we go. Oh, I haven't done the back of his shoe. Or the back shoe, should I say. There we are. And I'm going to do the powder pink next for his ears. And his face. There we go. His hand. And I'm going to do his legs as well. It sort of takes away a little bit from all the darkness. There we go. Now for the greens, I'm going to use the really Pear Pizzazz. Oh no, this is the Granny Apple Green to do the lights and the wiring. Put a little bit of red on the collar. And these markers are also double-ended, so you've got the fine end and you've got the brush end. And I think I'm going to do his top in the darker colour. this one's not too bad because it hasn't been used much, so there we go. And then the lighter colour, this is the Paper Zaz for, well, not that much difference, maybe it'll dry a little bit different. I used on the other card that I used, I used the blender pens, and I think they give a nicer finish, but because it's on a card and I'm not mounting it on anything, the marker pens don't show underneath, whereas if you've got the blender pens they do show through, so that's the reason why I haven't used them on the card. So green over there, green down there, and a green there, and then we'll use the yellow there, there, and here, and I'll do the red. This one, that one. I think that's all I like. Oh, there's one up here. Oh no, that should be in green. There we go. And then just so that he's grounded on something, just put a little bit of the grey. This is Smoky Slate, just so that he looks as though he's not flying in mid-air. There we go. So I'll do the inside now, quickly. I mean, you could use, if on the cards you can use, say the pencils, the watercolour pencils, or any other things you want to use, obviously, but there we go. This is just what I've used, and I think he looks quite cute. There you go. The brown goes here. Green top. There we go. And then the lights. I'll do the green one that time. And do the yellow one. So that's the inside of my card sorted, and so we just use brown folder there, and it's just the envelope now, and again I could always change the colours around if I wanted. If you wanted to, you can do that. I mean, if you didn't, you don't have to put a sentiment inside. So if you wanted to get this stamp set, there's quite a few different images, so you can make some different cards, 3 different cards to send off without having to change your stamp set. So, I mean, obviously it's up to you what you would like to buy, but I think this is quite a good set because you've got 3 different images that you can use, and you can make 3 different types of 3 different cards, and they're all quite nice, cheerful little characters and things that are on there. we go, and just the yellow light. There we go, so we're done. So, I've got my card and my envelope. So, there we go, all these little Santa's elves. So we've got, this is the one I did before, and I do think the colours are better with the lighter, the less deep colours, markers. So those are nice. And then for this one, again, I've done the same thing on the envelope for that one, and I've just put a little bit of his head on the inside of that card. But this one, I used some of the, what's it called? Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper. They're double-sided, and there's some lovely papers in here. So that's the other side of this one that I've used, and then you've got those two. So you've got dots on one side and a check on the other, a little dots and crosses and stripes on the other, a nice little diamond pattern on there with the ginghamy back. You've got a red stripy front and a little, they're like little leaves and crosses on the and dots on the other side. And then you've got the tile pattern with the dots on the other side. So there's some nice papers in that set, and I thought they'd be nice for Christmas cards, nice and cheerful. So that I've used that as a background. I've rounded the corners on the mat and the top layer. I stamped this onto a piece of white and then used a piece of Poppy Parade on the back to make a little label to go on top for my sentiment. The reason is because I must admit, when I stamped it, there was a little mark on the top, so I wanted to hide that. So that's what I've done with that. And I used this punch, which is the banner punch, lots of banners or something like that. This is in the new Christmas, or not Christmas, the mini catalogue for August to December, and so you can get 3 different sizes out of the same punch, and you've also got either an arrow or you've got the tail on it. So I've used the tail, and I did the 2. The only trouble was I did this one at 3/4 of an inch, and this one was only just slightly smaller. So what I did trim it a bit more down afterwards as well. So you can do that if you want to. So that's what I've done there, and I just added a few of the red rhinestones, basic rhinestones on the top. I coloured him in using the blends. I didn't do a lot of shading, I just coloured it in as it was. My Daffodil Delight is running out on this one as well, so it's not my yellows are not very bright, but you can see the difference though with the Pear Pizzazz and the Granny Apple Green on this card. It shows up a lot better, the difference between the two. But when I did the inside and the envelope, I used the markers as well, so that's the difference between the markers as well. Okay, the markers and the blenders. You get a nice softer effect with the blender pens, I think. So there we are. Those are the cards for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you've got any comments, please leave them below, or you can email me at Tricia's Cards and Crafts at yahoo.com. Sorry. If you'd like to see more of these, then please click on the subscribe button, and if you want to be notified when the new videos are posted, if you click on the little bell icon, they will notify you then when I post another video. Thank you for joining me today. I hope I'll see you again soon. Bye.